It's your favorite super duper mother daughter duo coming to you with all the positive vibes and helping you become exactly who you want to be. We're giving out all the good stuff on this podcast, and it's your host Tekoa and Sarah. So grab your mug because it's time for tea. Hey everyone, it's time for tea, where we are teaching, empowering, and applying. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about getting out of your comfort zone. I'm Tekoa.
And I'm Sarah.
And we are so excited to get started and help people get out of their comfort zone. Quick disclaimer, if you are okay with where you are in life, do not think that we are coming at you negatively, okay? This is for people who are wanting to progress, wanting to get out of their comfort zone, and looking for something different or better in life, okay? It's nothing wrong with being okay where you at. Congrats to you. And this is for the people who are ready to grow. So let's get into it. Let's get the
Awesome.
definition of what a comfort zone is. You have that for us?
Okay, so the definition, a place where you feel comfortable and your abilities are not being tested, safe ways of existing or working, unusual in a set routine. No, usually in a set routine.
Okay,
Sorry.
so a place where you feel comfortable and your abilities are not being tested, usually in a set routine. So it sounds like it's a
Correct.
place of habit, kind of.
Yep.
Not too much
You're
out of
used
the
to this. This is,
ordinary.
you know what's going to happen every minute of the time of the day, because you get up, you go to work, you go to bed, and you're okay with that.
Okay, so let's talk about what are the benefits of getting out of our comfort zone. Like, what are some good things that can happen when we get out of our comfort zone? So, I, for one, heard a saying that everything that you desire is on the other side of your comfort zone,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which makes total sense because if you're doing the same thing every day and you're looking for different results, you're not going to get them.
Correct. And if you continue to do the same thing, you'll
Get the same
continue
result.
to get the same results.
Yeah.
No new, no change. It's the same. And nothing's wrong with that if that's what you want.
Yeah.
So
But
I
if
have
you
something.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'll say, but if you're yearning for something different, you're definitely going to have to step out of that box and do something different to attain that.
Correct. Correct. Now I have something. Doing something new can enrich your life and your business career, and not just your life, your business career also. Your new experiences can change your life and your direction of your career. So doing something new can change your experience, which changes your life, which changes your and can change your career.
Okay.
So that's just a little something that I picked up, which is true. If you do something different, things are going to shift differently.
Yeah, and usually nobody gets successful from doing like the same thing as everyone else. The same things are kind of like
Correct.
a formula layout for how to get started, but it's really innovation and thinking outside the box that propels you into a new category, a new field, and puts you in front of all your competitors.
Correct.
So
Correct.
yeah,
And
I
that's the
think
only way you're going to advance.
Yeah, I think that's important. So the benefits of getting out of your comfort zone, it could be freedom, it could be liberation, it could be exhilarating. You're feeling new, you're thinking of the
Mhm.
world differently. It could be fighting your fears head on. That's one of the benefits of getting out of your comfort zone. It could be paving the way for other people who've never done what you're doing. It could be you feeling free to create in a certain way. So getting out of your comfort zone literally allows you to feel all of these new things that you aren't feeling when you're doing the same thing every day, when you're living a mundane life. It allows you to experience new
Correct.
things, with adds to the brain, and it enriches the brain. It's the ultimate mind workout, doing something new and doing that thing repetitively until you understand it. It helps the brain to make these new connections in a certain way and to grow. So that's a good thing. Getting out of your comfort zone, like I said, it combats your fears. If you're scared of something, but yet you start to do that thing over and over and over and over again, it becomes less scary, and that getting out of your comfort zone has changed you into a new person because here you are stepping out of the box and overcoming your fears. So that allows you to be new and to be open to things. So those are some of the also some of the benefits of getting out. So let's talk about, why do we stay in our comfort zone?
So why do we stay in our comfort zone? The reason a lot of people stay in their comfort zone is, I think, one of the things that we have discussed in the past is the main thing is fear. Fear is the substance or the habit that we keep and that stops us from going to the next level. Fear is the things that keep us where we're at. And unfortunately, with that fear, we will never see who we are truly, and we will never get the best out of ourselves, because this thing has chained and locked us into where we're at, and this normalcy of our life, because we're too scared
Yes.
of the unknown.
So in researching the getting out of your comfort zone topic, this guy had talked about the 3-second rule, which I have heard of before, and it just reiterated it. So when you think of something that you want to do, you literally have about 3 seconds before your brain starts to talk you out of doing something new. Isn't that crazy? Literally think of something, 3 seconds later, your brain is coming up with 1,000 reasons why you shouldn't do that thing. Why you shouldn't progress, why you shouldn't do this new thing, why you shouldn't step out of your comfort zone. And the brain is just designed to keep you safe. So it thinks of new things as scary, as, unidentified interactions, and is not quite sure how it'll play out. So it'll literally hold you back from advancing and doing those new things. And I thought that was so funny. So 3 seconds, the 3-second rule. So it's best if you think of something like, oh, I want to put on a play, or I want to write a book, or I want to do this. It's best to try and get started immediately, because within a few seconds, your brain is going to start coming up with reasons why you shouldn't do that new thing. And getting out of your comfort zone, I will say with that, it takes motivation, it takes willpower, and it takes, mental strength. And all of those things are things that we have to work on, because if, like I said, everything that we want is on the other side of our comfort zone, all the things you desire
Correct.
for yourself, especially if you're thinking of getting into business, or if you're in business, that next level is on the outside of your comfort zone. It's doing things outside of your norm. It's doing something that you don't normally do. It's becoming consistent in a certain atmosphere or a certain area. It's learning something new that'll add to you. So, and all of that is on the other side of your comfort zone. And like I said, in order to get started, you have to start. You have to have that willpower. You have to have that motivation, because your brain will work against you and tell you, hey, sit down. We don't need to do that. That's something new. That's something forbidden, or something scary. And it'll prevent you from doing it. So it's literally a
Correct.
fight, kind of tassel to become this new person outside of what you're used to. Yeah.
And like you said, your brain is doing this because it's trying to protect you. Is trying to protect you from something new, because it does not know what the outcome is going to be. And so you have to step past that, tell your brain to sit down, off to the side. We're going to do this anyway. Let's try this. So you sort of have to overpower your mind. And I just have a little story to tell, because I know when we started this podcast and life coach and other business ideas that we've had going out of 2019, going into 2020. And, a lot of things that I've experienced all of this was out of my comfort zone, recording on this video, recording my own videos for my own life coach YouTube channel, setting up a business. All of these things were all new. All of these things were all different. And, thank God I had good mentors, good people around me, my daughter, my sister, who pushed me past that fear. But if I hadn't gone through that, I wouldn't be where I'm at. And I'm not even at the tip of where God wants me to be, but it's me shifting out of this normalcy and going into something that I've never experienced before. And it was all new. It was all scary. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know how people are going to accept you, or if you're going to be accepted, or if you're doing the right thing, even though in your gut you feel like it's the right thing, it's the right choice, this is the right decision, you're on the right journey. You just don't know. So stepping out of your comfort zone, it is scary, but it's gratifying, because I've expanded and grown and stretched so far and so wide in all of my experience through this from the past year. And, I give God the glory for that, because if I didn't, I would be back where I was, which was in an unhappy place. So, it is good to step out, because the outcome is better than, the reward is better than your past. So definitely it's worth it.
Yeah, amen. And I think recently we talked about, I think it was overcoming fear episode, if I'm not mistaken, like when is the parachute not open?
Mhm.
So if you do step out of your
Yes.
comfort zone, a lot of the things that I tell my clients, what's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to learn something new. You're going to, develop as a person. You're going to be a better individual. You're going to show other people that they're capable of doing the same thing. So stepping out of your comfort zone, even though it might seem hard and scary at first, it definitely is beneficial for you and everyone around you. Even if
Yeah.
it's something as walking through a neighborhood you don't normally walk through, or walking to a restaurant you don't normally go to. Stepping out of your comfort zone increases your I don't know, your recognition of the world around you. It brings you to a better understanding of how everything is connected, how small of a piece you are inside of this big puzzle of life. So stepping out of your comfort zone is definitely
Correct.
something that I encourage everyone to do at least like once a month. Do something different, try a different workout, try a different meal, talk to someone you wouldn't usually talk to, because it really enhances your thoughts of life. It enhances who you are as an
Correct.
individual. So let us get into um what can we well, first let me talk to you guys about me stepping out of my comfort zone. So
Okay.
I literally just this morning was like, I'm not stepping out of my comfort zone. I'm in my comfort zone. I'm not stepping out. So it's definitely a process, and it's something that I'm learning to do as well. I love trying new
Mhm.
things. I'm a doer. Before I even think about things, I'm already doing it. But in a particular area of my life, I say I want to do stuff, I want to do things, but then it never really starts to happen. So now I'm in a position where I'm more so trying to make things happen that I say I want to do, instead of waiting and waiting and pushing them off and letting life happen. I'm going to put my dreams and my desires first, and then kind of let everything else fall into place. But with saying that, it's so much easier than doing it, because, I'm like, okay, I'm put me first. And then it's like I have the opportunity to do it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, but what about everything else? So that 3-second rule, let me tell you,
Mhm.
it is so real. This year I also wanted to try lipsticks and different lip colors, because I'm a gloss girl, like 100%. But I was like, I'm going to step out my comfort zone and try colors. And I tried this red color, and it's not horrible. Like I'm
Mhm.
not totally upset with it. Okay. So it's like
Correct.
little things to kind of inch your way into something different. So getting out of your comfort zone is definitely beneficial. And it's something I'm working on as well. So don't feel like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? No, I'm working on it too. Share in the comments what you're
Yep.
doing, and we can hold hands and try and get out the box together. And it's a constant struggle, because you'll get out your comfort
It's a day
zone
to
and
day.
yes, you'll feel like, okay, I did this one thing. I feel good about this. I'm making moves. And then it's like, boom, next time it's time to level up. You have to do something else huge, now. And it's like, what? I literally just stepped out and started speaking in public. Now I gotta like speak in public and skydive off a building. So life is constantly giving you things that'll push you to be the person that you're designed to be. Okay, I will say that.
Challenging you. Yep. Challenging you to be your best, to be
Yes.
your true
Yes.
self.
And it's up to us to take on the challenge, because like we said in the beginning, if you're comfortable where you are, you can stay there for life. And some people do. Some people do. Like
Mhm.
I was telling my husband, you can literally go to places where you used to live, and you'll see one or two people from that area that lived there when you lived there. Like that is their comfort zone.
Correct.
They're not leaving. That's their stoop. they're happy there, they're content, they're not going anywhere else. And it might
Yeah,
sadden me, but to them, they're totally fine with where they are, you know? So it's totally possible to stay in your comfort zone and be a happy person, live your life to the fullest in that area if that's what you want to do. But there are those of us that know that there's more. There's a calling, a pulling on us, and we know that there's something
a
else.
pulling. Hmm.
And for those people, I'm telling you, whatever that thing is that's pulling you is on the other side of your comfort zone. That thing that you're dreading
Correct.
to do,
Correct.
that thing that you don't want to bring into habit, that thing that you don't want to start on, that is the thing that will pull you into who you are meant to be. That's destiny calling
Correct.
you, and it's just on the other side of what you're used to doing, unfortunately. You know, I wish it was easy as everything I know now is all I need to succeed in the future, but it's not. I have to learn new
It's
things. I
not.
have to do things differently. I have to grow. So and now I was
Correct.
gonna say, what can we do to get out of our comfort zone? All of that to say, what can we do to get out of our comfort zone? So it's so easy to say, just do it. Just go. Just start that new thing. Just be that person that
Hmm.
you need to be. But that is not the case. Like as I said, for me, it's a struggle. It's a struggle.
And
It's
the
mind
struggle
over
is
fear,
real.
and my mind is whipping me right now. So what are some things that we can do? Let's get into the steps, like some tips and tricks to help get us out of that comfort zone.
Okay, so I have some. One, make change to your daily routine. So if you're a person that does the same thing every day when you get up in the morning, change it up. Change it up. If you're a person that loves coffee in the morning, well, try tea one day, just to switch up. You know, if you go from your bed to taking a shower and getting dressed, or whatever your routine is, switch it around a little, just change it around. It makes a difference. If you're a person like I am, and I was, is a person that go home or go to work the same way every day, switch it up, find another way to go to and from work, versus the same mundane routine that you do. It does do something. I heard about this from a pastor years ago. He was like, the devil know what you're going to do every single, because you're doing the same thing. Switch it up. So it made sense. Switch it up. Go another route.
Mhm.
And you should always know more than one way to get home anyway. So go another route. To get to where you're going. So definitely making some changes, slight changes in your routine, your daily routine, is important, and it will shift things. Learning something new. Learning something new expands your mind. It expands your brain. It makes your mind start thinking and being worked and used. We only use a short, small portion, with 20% of our brains.
I'm not sure.
If it's that, less than that, I think it's, but so we really don't use the full capacity of our brains. Learn something new, expand your mind. That will help change you out of your comfort zone. Doing something new, doing something different. Okay, for those people that are scared to go and eat by themselves, go somewhere. Well, unfortunately, the COVID is here. But when this thing breaks, go and eat by yourself. It's okay. I've done it. You've done it.
Mhm.
It's okay to sit in a restaurant and eat by yourself. Travel by yourself. I've done it. I love it. But travel by yourself. You don't need a whole posse just to enjoy going somewhere. Your best friend should be you, first of all. And I love me some me. I have a great time hanging out with myself. So, do those things that you deserve. So do something new for you. That's important also. That's a change. That's a getting out of your comfort zone. Um, Doing something nice for someone, like Tekoa was saying, doing something nice for someone. And you don't have to do it where you're letting everybody know what you're doing for someone else, but doing something nice. And some things are free. A smile, a hello, a good morning, opening the door for someone. Those things are free, and you could do that. Volunteer at whatever it is that you love. Give your time away. That is something new. People are looking for your time. Give it away to something that you feel that you're going to feel rewarded in. Okay. T, you have anything else? You have any of
Let's
you?
see, physical and mental changes. What I
Mm-hmm.
talked about, kind of growing your mind and like deals with learning new things. It forces you to grow in a way that's not the usual way we think of growing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a person that kind of likes to argue, being silent next time is getting out of your comfort zone. You're used to going back and forth. If you're the type to be silent, stepping up and saying things for yourself is stepping out of your comfort zone. Those are ways that we don't kind of think about it, but they matter and they're just as important. So if
Mm-hmm.
you're kind of a people pleaser and you let people run over you, saying no. We had an episode on that. Learning to say no is getting out of your comfort zone. And that's something that's
Correct.
beneficial for you. And it'll help you grow and kind of learn about yourself. So those are some of the things that you could do, as well as face your fears. So I talked about that. I remember this show Fear Factor. I don't know. I'm a little older than some people, but Fear
Mm-hmm.
Factor used to literally, what are you scared of? And they would dump thousands of spiders all over you,
It's
put
still
you
on.
they will
Ludacris,
put you in a tank.
Ludacris is doing it. Oh, sorry.
Oh, they got a new house. Yeah, they will
Yep,
put you in
that
a tank
Ludacris
with
is doing.
snakes and stuff like that. So what are you scared of? Whatever you're scared of, kind of put yourself in that environment and see what that's like, as long as it's not deadly. But see what that's like. And like I said, the more you expose yourself to things, the less you scared of it. It's the
Mm-hmm.
craziest thing ever. Like, I'm scared of something. Oh, well, go hang out with that thing. And literally you start to lose the fear of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as
Correct.
scary
Correct.
anymore because you're introducing yourself to it, and you're becoming I don't know, I want to say friendly, but it's not friendly, but you're becoming used to it, basically.
You're
Another
familiar
thing,
with that. You're
familiar,
familiar with
there
that.
we go. You're becoming familiar with it. I was gonna say
Mm-hmm.
cordial. That's what I wanted to say. You're becoming cordial with you're becoming familiar with
Hello,
it.
fear.
Another thing is, don't talk yourself out of it. So we talked about that 3-second rule. Don't talk yourself out of it. If it's something that you really want to do, write it down and put it somewhere where you'll constantly see it, and tell yourself, hey, I really want to do this thing. I really want to do this. I need to do this. This is something I need to start. And it sounds simple to know what to start, but that's a whole video all by itself, because learning
Mm-hmm.
what it is that you really want to do is complicated too. So be patient with yourself. Take small
Yep.
steps. Like we said, if you're not sure what you want to do, start doing things differently in your daily routine. We are creatures of habits. Unfortunately, we're all basically just zombies walking throughout our day. So start to mix
Mm-hmm.
that up. Start to activate your consciousness a little bit and do things differently. And I promise you'll see results. You'll see your brain start to think differently, start to pop up new ideas in your head, because it's not doing the same thing over and over.
Yes, and then the last one was, I think, and you had a little bit of that, is taking a single step. A lot of people get overwhelmed, and I know we do, because we don't know how to attack it. We don't know how to start. It just starts with one small thing. It's not grand. It's not big. Don't, a person told me, one of my coworkers told me this last year or so. I've never heard of that, but you know, not eating the whole elephant, chewing the elephant one chunk at a time, one chunk at a time. And I was like, eating the elephant one chunk at a time. That's because I'm a whole elephant devouring kind of person. So it made sense it's like I look at something and I'm going for the big, and it takes me a while to pull back and say, stop.
That's too much. Yeah.
That's too much. Just one chunk. Just cut the thing in chunks, dissect it, split it, and then eat it. It's more easier to eat, absorb, and overcome it.
Mhm.
So single steps, making a move towards your goal, and it says breaking your goal down to doable segments. That's important, guys, because that's where people get stuck, because they want to conquer the whole thing. Break that thing down. Start with what you want and start making small steps towards it. And you'll get to that. It might take longer, and that's okay. This is not a race. This is conquering and overcoming your comfort zone. This is not a 50-mile relay. This is not trying to get there fast. This is trying to get there, period. Okay. So that's very important. That's the first start.
Yeah. The first thing to do is to do something.
Yeah.
And we're just about at our 30-minute mark. So, and one thing we didn't touch on was the being in your comfort zone when it deals with relationships and other people. But we do have an episode about, the bad, the toxic, and the good. So if you are in a
Yes.
relationship and you're like, how do I get out of my comfort zone when it comes to this? Then definitely check out that other episode dealing with that in particular. But the best thing to do to get out of your comfort zone is to start doing things differently. Is to start
Yep.
doing things differently, stepping out of the box, change your routine, and face your fears. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope some people are motivated to get out of their comfort zone. You have
I got a
something to say?
quote.
Oh, okay, you have a quote.
Okay. This is the quote. So a comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. By
Aw.
John Assoff.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. And this podcast is literally all about growing, teaching, empowering, and applying the things that we talk about so that you can grow, so that we can become better individuals. So that is absolutely perfect. So your comfort zone is great,
Awesome.
but you're just not going to grow there. You're going to be stagnant. Okay. All right, you guys. I will see you all next time. Comment what you're doing and start getting out of your comfort zone. The slightest change in your daily routine, we want to know about it. Keep us posted and we can all grow together. Adios. Till next time. That's a wrap of today's episode. And once again, this is the podcast Time for Tea, where we are teaching, empowering, and applying and giving out weekly doses of some good stuff for your spirit. Hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Same time, same place. Bye.